big week of divisional matchups is in the books, so let's break it all down. Welcome into the NFC West Huddle, where we cover every team in the division with our panel of experts in each market. I'm Ethan McReynolds in Seattle. I'm joined by Richard Sines in his burn book in Phoenix, Keyshawn Ward flexing those biceps down in the Bay, and Gerard Moncure and all his championship rings down in Los Angeles. Guys, let's get right into it. It was a week of divisional matchups for all of us, so let's do a little recap. Let's start with that battle at the top of the NFC West between the Seahawks and Rams, with L.A. coming out on top. Gerard, I'll start with you. What'd you make of the game from the Rams' perspective?
Well, guys, I mean, honestly, I said it was going to be like this, and it came out at SoFi. I said that it was going to be a close game. The Rams would win, and they did, 21-19. Granted, let's give the Hawks credit. The defense played fabulous. They were a field goal away from winning the game. But I said the Rams needed to get Sam Darnold off his spots. And sure enough, they were able to do that. He made 4 ill-advised throws that in the NFL, sometimes you get away with it because DBs drop them. Well, the Rams didn't drop them. 4 picks. That was the difference in the game. That was the turnover battle, 4-1. 90% of the time, if that is the case in the turnover battle, the team that gets the turnovers is going to win the game. And that was the case. Seattle played a great game. I mean, 79 plays to the Rams 50 on offense. Time of possession, over 37 minutes to the Rams 22. But the Rams were the better team in the red zone, 3 for 4. Seattle was just 1 for 4. That was the difference of the game. We knew it was going to be a close game, and it certainly was. The Seattle defense held the Rams to just 2 for 11 on 3rd down. That's a stat that's going to have to change if the Rams are going to win the game on the 18th up in Seattle. But I think the game went pretty much how I felt it would go. They're 2 really good teams. They're closely matched. But quarterback play in this league makes the difference between teams that are playoff teams and teams that are championship teams. That's what we saw Sunday at SoFi Stadium. Yeah,
you're totally right, Gerard. You know, for the Seahawks, it was ugly on the offensive side of the ball. 4 interceptions from Sam Darnold. Gerard, you said it. You're just not going to win many football games turning the ball over that many times. We've seen Sam throw some bad interceptions throughout the year, but this was definitely his worst game as a Seahawk. But, you know, if you told me before the game that Darnold was going to throw 4 interceptions, I would have guessed the Hawks would have lost by 30. Instead, they had a 61-yard field goal attempt at the buzzer to win it, and it probably would have been a lot more makeable if not for the best punt I have literally seen in my entire life in over 2 decades of being a football fan. So credit where it's due to the Rams. I believe they were the better team on Sunday. But, Gerard, you mentioned all those stats. The Seahawks played a very good game, outgained the Rams by over 150 yards, time of possession going towards the Seahawks as well. I don't think the Seahawks are very far off at all, and it starts with the defense. Matthew Stafford was the hottest quarterback in the league coming into the game. 13 touchdowns, no picks in his last 3 games, and the Hawks held him to just 130 yards, completing just 54% of his passes and a QBR of just over 45. All of those are season lows. Combine that with the offense putting the defense in some awful situations deep in their own territory on those turnovers, and they only gave up 21 points, including a couple of goal line stands to boot. Impressive stuff. So overall, tough loss, but I still feel really good about where the Seahawks are at. And I have full belief that Sam Darnold will bounce back in that Week 16 rematch at Lumen Field. Let's go to the other NFC West matchup. The other NFC West matchup last weekend between the Niners and the Cardinals, with San Francisco winning handily and Brock Purdy's return after a 6-game absence. Keyshawn, what did you see from the Niners?
Guys, that was a BTA performance, a belt to you-know-what by the 49ers to the Cardinals. We can't say it on the airways, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. But, man, it was really done in all phases, starting on kickoff return by Scott Moore when he took it back 98 yards. Got caught up at the 1-yard line. It is what it is. But then that became – it transitioned to the Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, and George Kittle show. Purdy returned and showed no rest in this return. He was 19 out of 26, threw for 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. 2 of those TDs with George Kittle, where Kittle is now the 3rd player in franchise history by the Niners to have over 500 catches and 50 receiving touchdowns. An amazing career by Kittle. First ballot Hall of Famer, and it's all said and done. Then in the running game, Christian McCaffrey got 2 rushing scores and a receiving touchdown. And even on the defensive side of the ball, De'Armond Lenore got interception, Malik Mustafa, and Upton Stout had a great forced fumble at the 1. So it was a game that was won in all phases by the Niners, a dominant win for San Francisco.
Yeah, BTA, blow out the Arizona Cardinals, right? That's what that stands for. Richard, over you. Second straight blowout to a divisional opponent. What'd you see from the Cardinals on Sunday?
I saw the beat down that Keyshawn saw. That's what I saw. You know, it's crazy because, you know, after the Cardinals beat the Cowboys, it kind of reminded me of, you know, like the little brother that's starting to feel good, and the big brother's off away to college. He's like, you know what? I think I could beat him up. I think I could beat up my big brother. When he comes back home for Thanksgiving break, I'm going to challenge him. And then all of a sudden they get beat down. They're like halfway through the fight. They're like, oh man, I shouldn't have poked the bear. And that's what happened with Seattle and San Francisco. I mean, it was unbelievable to see how they got dominated. It was such a weird game too. And you know, Keyshawn talking about Sky Morgan caught on the 1 yard line. I was so happy because I knew that meant Christian McCaffrey was going to score a touchdown. That was going to help out my fantasy team, the Chimichanga. So I was just fine with that, you know. But you know, the Cardinals outgained the 49ers by over 200 yards of total offense. Jacoby Brissett sets an NFL record for completions, and they still lose by 20. I mean, the last 2 weeks have been a reality check for the Arizona Cardinals, and you can see how far they have to go to be competitive in the NFC West, and they still got to play the Rams twice. Oh boy, it's really going to be tough from here on out for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, tough sledding for the Arizona Cardinals so far this season. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but we're looking ahead to Week 12 next on the NFC West Huddle. Welcome back to the NFC West Huddle. Our next topic, let's look ahead to this upcoming week of matchups. Gerard, the Rams host the Bucs on Sunday Night Football in what I think is the game of the week to potential Super Bowl contenders. How are you feeling about it? Do the Rams come away with the dub and improve to 9-2?
Ethan, I feel pretty good about it. Now, old friend Baker Mayfield coming back into SoFi Stadium won a huge game for the Rams as a replacement for Matthew Stafford a couple of years ago. Rams are very well aware of what Baker Mayfield is capable of. But the Bucs are missing Mike Evans, and it looks like they're not going to have running back Bucky Irving again. That's according to Todd Bowles. So I'm feeling a lot better about this game right now. With Tampa missing those two guys, they are just not the same offense with Mike Evans and Bucky Irving not in the lineup. Mike Evans gave the Rams all kinds of trouble a couple of years ago when the Rams beat the Bucs in that divisional playoff game down there. He is just a tough issue for the Rams defense to deal with, but he's not going to be around. Tampa Bay is dealing with some a rough stretch in their schedule right now. They lost the game to New England at home. They had to travel up to Buffalo. They lost that game. And now they got to travel across the country to play a very, very hot Rams team. Rams have a chance to go 9-2 with that win. And you got to remember, the Eagles play the Cowboys earlier in the day. If Dallas can pull off the upset, which everyone thinks will be a slight upset, the Rams have a chance going into that game to take over first place in the entire NFC. So they are not going to get caught sleeping off of beating the Seahawks last week. They'll be ready to play the game Sunday night in front of the entire country. Now, they do have some adjustments to make. Quentin Lake, leader of the defense, now on the IR, probably will be back to the playoffs. Rob Havenstein, offensive line starter, out on the IR. He's going to miss 4 games. And Tyler Higbee, starting tight end, also moving to the IR. They all got hurt in the game against the Seahawks. But all the guys that are replacing them are guys that play a lot as it is. So there should not be too much of a drop-off, if any at all. The mentality of this Rams team, the reason they're 8-2 is because it's next man up. That's what you're going to see Sunday night. I'm very confident they're a 7-point favorite to win the game. They will win the game against the Buccaneers. I have a great feeling about it.
Yeah, it should be a fun one on Sunday Night Football. Another primetime matchup in the division on Monday night. The Niners hosting the Panthers. Keyshawn, what's your outlook on this one? San Francisco taking on an improved Carolina squad from years past.
Well, Ethan, I'm expecting the Niners to win just because their offense getting healthy at the right time with Purdy coming back, and you can see the connection between him and Kittle's will only get better as the season goes on. I mean, this is a crazy stat. Purdy has a quarterback rating of 140 whenever he targets Kittle. So I expect that to keep going as the season goes on. But also, I think they're going to win at the line of scrimmage. I mean, the Panthers' defense, rushing defense to be exact, they're pretty mid. They're ranking between 17th to 20th, and they average, I think the teams that play against them average over 113 yards per game against that rush defense. So I expect Christian McCaffrey, who's playing against his former team for the first time since he got traded back in 2022, to have a good game against the Panthers. And then also, I think George Kittle's going to win his one-on-ones against the linebackers and pass coverage, or even against the safeties. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I do think that the Niners are, they're actually doing a lot of injuries, but I think they're still going to create great continuity as the season goes on. They're going to get better as these games go on. But I do have concerns about the Niners' defenders, defensive backs to be exact, going against the Panthers receiving core. So that's my only concern. But other than that, I think the Niners win this 27-20 on Monday night.
And Richard, the Cardinals are at home looking to get back into form against Trevor Lawrence and the 6-4 Jags. Do you see Arizona getting it done on Sunday?
First of all, I just want to say, why are you asking Gerard if he thinks the Rams are going to win? You know he's going to say they're going to win.
It's a rhetorical question.
Of course he's going to say that. And then,
Richard, don't be jelly.
Period.
Don't be jelly, Richard.
I am jelly. I'm drinking haterade today, that's for sure. You already have first place in the division. Now you want first place in the NFC? I'm writing it down right here in my diary. No leftovers when Gerard's around. He has to date all the Cowboy cheerleaders. He has to have all the girls. Can we have one girl at least? Can we at least take her out of the... No, he wants it all. Typical Gerard, typical LA. But anyway, yeah, here in Arizona, I think the Cardinals have a chance to win. And I'm saying they better win, because when you look at the rest of the schedule, I don't know how many more opportunities they're going to have to get a win. They got the Rams twice. They got Tampa Bay, maybe Cincinnati, but Joe Burrow's about to come back. Maybe the Texans, but Stroud's about to come back too. So if Jacksonville, I don't know, they're so inconsistent. Maybe they can catch them, an off week and get a win here. But boy, the wins are going to be slim for the Cardinals. So they got to take advantage of the opportunities when they can.
Yeah, for the Seahawks, they're going to travel to Nashville to face the 1-9 Titans. This is a get-right game for the Hawks. Tennessee is just an absolute mess. The highest odds for the number one pick in the draft. Worst offense in the league by yards and points per game. Their defense giving up over 27 points per game, one of the worst marks in the league. They got the worst point differential in the league at -130 in just 10 games. The Hawks are one of the heaviest favorites of the week for a reason. For me, this is about gaining confidence and improving in the areas that you struggled with against the Rams. Last Sunday, everyone is going to be watching Sam Darnold this weekend to see how he responds to adversity. I don't need to see anything flashy from Sam. I just want to see a turnover-free game from this offense. The Seahawks now lead the league with 20 turnovers. I want to see them take care of the football and do something they've only done once this season and not turn the ball over for a full 60 minutes. I'm also looking at this run game. The Rams ran their dime package over 60% of the time on first and second downs, daring the Hawks to run it early. And they weren't good enough. Other teams that have the talent on defense to run dime or nickel against the Seahawks' big personnel, they're taking notes. The blueprint is out on how to slow this offense down. So I'm looking for the run game to get right against this Titans defense, hopefully build some momentum for the rest of the season. All right, we're going to step aside real quick, but we'll be right back with more NFC West Huddle. All right, welcome back to the NFC West Huddle. Let's go to our next topic. Who's been your team's breakout player so far this season? The biggest surprise of the season. Richard, I'll go to you first with the Cardinals.
Yeah, it's got to be Jacoby Brissett. I mean, I think he's done a fantastic job at quarterback, giving that part of the team an uptick since Kyler Murray went down. In all his 5 starts, he hasn't thrown for less than 250 yards. He just set an NFL record for 47 completions in a game, and he's done well, and he's handled the adversity. After every loss, he's saying the right things. He's being a true leader. He hasn't given up when they're down by 20 plus. When the special teams gives up a 98-yard return for an easy touchdown to start the game, he keeps coming. So I think he's been a pleasant surprise for the Arizona Cardinals.
Keyshawn, over to you. Are you sticking with the backup quarterback train that Richard is starting? What do you think with the Niners?
You know what? You guys are right. I probably have to say Mac Jones. I mean, he's definitely stepped up to the plate all season in Brock Purdy's absence. And I honestly think the way Mac Jones has been performing, he will be starting for a team next year. It might be for Richard's team, the Arizona Cardinals, because I don't think Kyler Murray will be coming back. But I actually want to give some love to Upton Stout. He's a rookie nickelback corner. He's been somebody that's Kyle Shanahan's been gushing about all season. Literally just did today in the presser talking about the Panthers prep, but he was saying Upton Stout's been playing like a 49er all season, and you can just see how he did make that play on the 1-yard line against Elijah Higgins, the bigger tight end, against a 5'8". Upton Stout. He forced that fumble right at the 1-yard line. So plays like that is why he's been such a great surprise for the 49ers.
Gerard with the Rams, who are you going with?
It's the entire defensive backfield, Ethan. They were the weak link of the team last year, without a doubt, and they have been fantastic this year. 56 pass breakups, 10 picks. They lost their top corner, Akilla Witherspoon, early in the year to a broken clavicle. And Cam Curl, Quentin Lake, Cam Kitchens, Emmanuel Forbes Jr., Jalen McCullough, Kobe Durant, Darius Williams, and Josh Wallace have been fantastic. The Rams are the number 2 defense against giving up points in the entire NFL. And that's because the back half of the defense is as solid as they can be now. That has made the difference in this Rams defense, which is the reason why they are a Super Bowl contender now. It's the defensive backfield.
Well, Richard, you mentioned Gerard just taking everything for himself. I asked for a player. He names the whole 53-man roster. I mean,
exactly.
The whole position.
Typical Gerard.
All right.
He makes his own rules.
For the Seahawks, the obvious answer, it has to be Jackson Smith-Njigba. I mean, he had a breakout season last year, but no one expected him to grow to this superstar level that he's been playing at this year this quickly. And he hasn't just been a superstar. He's having one of the best seasons by a receiver of all time. He's on pace to have more yards than Cooper Kupp's 2021 season, where he won Offensive Player of the Year. That put him at the second most receiving yards in a season all time. The Seahawks needed JSN to step up after trading DK Metcalf away to the Steelers, and he's filled Metcalf's shoes and then some. Other than the obvious answer in JSN, I also want to give some love to first-round pick Gray Zabel. He's been spectacular so far this season at left guard. He's been amazing in pass protection, really shored up the left side of that offensive line. That's been a problem for years. We talked about it all offseason. The Hawks' rushing numbers are better going to the left because Zabel is over there just mauling guys. He's been getting respect as well from guys like Calais Campbell with the Cardinals. You guys saw that fun mic'd up interactions worth taking a look on social media. Zabel did go down on Sunday late against the Rams in that game. He avoided a serious knee injury, so that is good news that Mike McDonald gave us earlier this week, but his timeline to return still unclear. Wouldn't be surprised if he missed this week. It's going to be a huge loss, though. I think how big his impact has been this season, it's going to show up with him not in the lineup. Just because, offensive linemen, you're not hearing about him. It's probably a good thing. 2024 third-rounder Christian Haynes took over for him on Sunday. He's expected to fill in if Zabel isn't able to make it back this Sunday for Tennessee. All right, final topic. We got some time. The division has been talked about mostly as a two-horse race between the Hawks and the Rams, with that matchup taking center stage last week. But the Niners look pretty good with Brock Purdy back despite still missing Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, among others. Are people sleeping on the Niners? Do they still have a chance to win the division? Keyshawn, what do you think?
Nah, everybody stay asleep. Unless the Rams completely fall apart and Sam Darnold becomes the guy who we really know who he is, keep throwing interceptions, I don't think the Niners have any chance to win the division. Their best bet is to get a wild card berth, which is going to be very interesting as the season goes down because if you look at our schedule, it's a cupcake schedule, like I've been saying, all season, and Seattle has probably a tougher road than the Niners, and they face each other in Week 18 that will probably determine the final wild card spot.
Richard, what do you think? The Niners have a chance, or are we sleeping on them?
Anybody but L.A. Let's go. Yes, I'm still hating on L.A., Gerard. Anybody but L.A. Yes, the 49ers have a chance. Brock Purdy is back, baby. And look, you saw how good they looked. I know they were playing the Cardinals, but boy, I mean, that was his first game back. There was no rust. Everybody, that's what he does as a quarterback, makes everybody around them better. I think they definitely have a chance. Go ahead, Gerard. Keep sleeping on the 49ers. You too, if you want, Ethan. I like the 49ers' chances, and I like Brock Purdy as their quarterback. He's proven that he's the guy for that team. And like I said, Seattle, San Francisco, I'm rooting for you guys. Anybody but L.A., please.
Well,
they already get DeAndre Ayton to play better for the Lakers too. I don't know what more they want.
Well, I feel like they do have a fighting chance, especially with Brock Purdy coming back. He's playing some good football. I mean, you look, Keyshawn, you mentioned the schedule. It's a cupcake schedule, and yeah, maybe I don't think the Niners are in that Super Bowl contender conversation. But the Rams have to play some good teams down the stretch. The Bucs, I don't think it's going to be as easy of a game as Gerard thinks it is. The Lions as well. So, there's a team in there that I'm forgetting. Also, they got that rematch with the Seahawks. I think it's, I'm not sleeping on the Niners. Keyshawn, you're not giving me that vote of confidence, but I don't know. That's just how I feel. Gerard, we got a couple minutes. What do you think about all this?
Okay, well, first and foremost, Richard, you sound like every baseball fan when the playoffs started. Anything but LA. How'd that turn out? Okay, let's go there. We'll start with that first. All right. I am a big no on the 49ers. I'm a big no on the 49ers. They're 2 games behind the Rams. And unlike what you guys think, the Niners do have the easiest schedule, but the last 3 games are not easy. They're going to Indianapolis. They're going to lose that game. They got the Bears at Levi's. That's going to be a tough game. Chicago could win that division or possibly be a playoff team. And then they got the Seahawks. The Niners are not walking through that. Is the Rams' schedule easy? It's not easy. But that game against the Lions that Ethan was talking about is at SoFi, and the Rams have played the Lions tough. The 2 last times they played, they beat them one time, and then they lost the playoff game where the ref didn't throw the flag, and then they lost the first game of last year in overtime. But they get this Detroit team at SoFi, and this Detroit team is not the same Detroit team from 2 years ago. So I'm confident they'll win that game. The toughest game the Rams have left is going to Lumen and dealing with the Seahawks in Week 18. I think the Rams could win out, or I think that maybe they lose a game. The 49ers are not catching the Rams. That's not going to happen. And the 49ers, Mac Jones has played great. He played great football. The 49ers issue is their defense is not that good. Everyone forgets that. And that's why my answer is no. The Niners are not a factor. It's the Hawks and the Rams.
Wow, Gerard thinks the Rams are going to win out. Richard, are we surprised?
Maybe if I had a chair like Gerard, if I had a chair like Gerard, I'd be in a better mood. I got this chair from Office Max. He's on the throne over there. I don't know what's going on. He gets out of the rain because he's in his contract and he can't get wet. He's got a lot of sweat. I need to move to L.A. and live the L.A. life, man.
I think if Gerard was looking into his crystal ball, I would say he doesn't think the Rams are going to lose ever again in the franchise's history. But all right, that's all we have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining us on the NFC West Huddle. Remember, you can watch full. Yeah. Beat LA, yes. That's the new mantra for the show. We're going to open with Richard on that the rest of the show. You remember, you can watch full episodes on the Fox Local app. Thanks, as always, to our panel, Keyshawn Ward in San Francisco, Richard Sines in Phoenix, and Gerard Moncure holding it down in Los Angeles. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next week.